Welcome to today's deep dive. Usually when you want to switch the video feed on your TV at home, you just grab a like cheap $20 HDMI switcher. You plug in your console, your streaming box, and hit a button.
Right, and sometimes it works, but other times the screen just flashes black for, 3 seconds.
Exactly. But think about what happens when you are broadcasting a massive live event, like the Olympics, right? You need to route dozens of professional-grade video feeds all at the same time, without a single dropped frame.
Oh yeah, that is a completely different stratosphere of hardware. I mean, you really can't rely on consumer tech when you've got millions of people watching live.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because
Yeah.
to understand how those massive live broadcasts actually get to your screen flawlessly, we're looking at the brain of the operation today. It's a piece of enterprise equipment from HDTVSupply.
Yeah, the Kramer 3232 HD-3G, right?
That's the one. It is a 32 by 32 video router. And our goal today is to figure out exactly how this thing, basically dodges the laws of physics and why it commands a very precise $9,500 price tag.
Well, the core value of this Kramer router really comes down to moving just massive amounts of data with absolutely zero room for error. We are talking about 32 independent inputs and 32 independent outputs.
And this isn't like compressed YouTube video we're talking about, is it?
No, not at all. It handles really heavy, uncompressed professional broadcast standards, things like 3G SDI, HD-SDI, and DVB-ASI. So when it's fully loaded, it's pushing up to 3 gigabits of data per second per channel.
Wow. So it's basically like a high-speed train yard. You have
Yep.
32 high-speed trains arriving and departing the exact same fraction of a second, and you have to route all of them perfectly without a single collision.
That is a great way to picture it. Yeah, it's intense.
But honestly, wait, I have to push back on one of their main claims here. Because the source says this router has less than 1 frame of latency, even over a cable that is 200 meters long.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, my home Wi-Fi lags if I just take my phone into the kitchen. How is it physically possible to push uncompressed video down 2 football fields of copper wire without any noticeable lag?
It does sound like magic, honestly. But it comes down to a really brilliant engineering mechanism that Kramer calls advanced equalization and reclocking technology.
Reclocking, what does it actually mean?
Well, normally, as a digital signal travels down a long copper cable, the data degrades. The ones and zeros literally get fuzzy, right? They lose their timing.
Oh, I see. So a cheap router would just try to, shout that fuzzy signal louder.
Exactly. But this Kramer router actively rebuilds the digital signal at the hardware level.
So instead of one exhausted runner carrying a baton for the whole marathon, it's more like a perfectly timed relay race.
Right.
The router grabs the data and hands off a brand new, perfectly energized baton to the next stretch of cable.
Precisely. And that active hardware reclocking is really the only way these flawless signals can travel those huge distances. We're talking up to 200 meters for standard 1.5G high def and 155 meters for the heavier 3G signals.
That is wild. And, with all that heavy lifting, rebuilding billions of bits on the fly, matrixing 64 massive data streams, you would naturally expect this thing to be a gigantic, power-hungry beast.
Oh, for sure. Like a humming refrigerator in a server room somewhere.
Yes. But the physical specs are entirely contradictory. This entire matrix fits easily in a standard 2U server rack. It's only 2.5 inches deep.
Wow.
Yeah, and it weighs just 6 pounds and consumes a mere 18 watts of power. I mean, my laptop charger uses more electricity than that.
What's fascinating here is how ultra-efficient solid-state engineering allows for that tiny footprint. It doesn't have the bulky, power-draining processors of a regular computer.
Because it's just purpose-built to do exactly one thing perfectly, right?
Exactly. And despite the size, you still get total enterprise-level control options. It features an advanced browser interface over Ethernet, and it uses RS-232 and 422 serial control.
Which is an older but incredibly rock-solid connection.
Totally. It guarantees a command gets through, unlike, say, a flaky wireless signal. Plus, it perfectly routes ANC data alongside the video.
And ANC data, that's what keeps the embedded audio, the teletext, and the time codes glued to the video, right?
Right.
So the news anchor's lips actually match the words you hear.
You got it. It basically guarantees the entire package arrives completely intact.
So, okay, if you are a broadcaster staring at this $9,500 invoice, the hardware clearly justifies the cost.
Oh, absolutely.
But what happens if something actually goes wrong during a live broadcast? because that brings us to some pretty incredible purchasing perks hidden on HDTVSupply's product page.
Yeah, I noticed those.
Alongside things like a 10% discount code and free USA shipping, they boast a 4.7 out of 5-star rating.
Yeah.
And those glowing reviews specifically shout out a rockstar customer service rep named Rachel.
I love that. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really emphasizes a fundamental truth about B2B hardware sales.
Which is?
Even when you are buying the most advanced zero-latency technical equipment on Earth, personalized human support is still a massive selling point.
It really is. Broadcasters want to know that if the unthinkable happens, there's a real dedicated expert they can call to save the show.
Yeah, it's the human element backing up the ultra-fast tech.
Which leaves you with an interesting final thought to mull over. With enterprise-level routing technology shrinking down to a 6-pound box that's barely 2.5 inches deep, how long until this level of instantaneous, massive video matrixing becomes a standard feature in our everyday smart homes?